In this video, I'm going to show you how to service your boosted board. Let's get started. Hey Siri, can you turn on the video lighting for me? Thank you. Alright, so this board has about 230 miles broke into it, so it's been ridden quite a bit. Normally, this is a little early to be servicing your boosted board, but mine has been on the road a lot, taking some rocks up in the belt, so it's time for a little tender love and care. So we're going to flip this thing over and let you look at the underside. Now you can see here that the skid plates here are pretty rough. There's some really big knocks in it, and you notice this belt is actually alright. I probably don't have to replace it, but this one here is on its last leg. The last time I rode it, it was making some weird noises because the belt was sliding across instead of pulling the wheel. So I ordered these kits. You can buy them from boostedboard.com. Boostedboards.com, I think is what it is. And this, inside the service belt kit, you can find a few different things. They give you a few tools to help you service this, but it's not everything you're going to need. They do give you a few extra screws, an Allen wrench, and 2 belts. That's nice. And inside of this skid plate kit, you have 2 skid plates, which I really need, and of course some screws. And I'm going to keep these inside the Ziploc bag so I don't get these screws mixed up with the screws that come with the belt service kit. I have this little tool that I'm going to use to take the wheels off and kind of work my way in closer towards the motor here and get into these belts. So I'm just going to start by taking the nut off the wheel. So now this whole wheel piece should slide off. So you can see here, this belt is toast, man. It's smooth on the bottom side. So I'm going to use this Allen wrench that they provided to get in there and get this bad boy off. Those jokers were on there tight. Now you can send your board in and let them fix it for you, but they're all the way in California. I'm in Tennessee. I thought I need to learn how to service my own board, so. And now that this skid plate's off, oh, this is the guard, not the skid plate, I'm sorry. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that thing. I could probably just pull that apart. Look, it's got a really bad tear right there, so it is definitely time for that one to come loose. So this belt is still on there. Pretty snug. I'm going to slide that belt off. Just like the other side, and that guy's off as well. Same deal over here. There's that bearing. I'm going to lose that. Allen wrench. Coming out. So these guards are going to come off, and that's going to allow you to take the belt completely off the board. Just like that. Get the belt off the sprocket. See, this belt is actually in pretty good shape. I may keep it just in case I need to change the belts out. I've got quite a few things going wrong here with this skid plate. You can see it is really worn out and even kind of warped in towards the belt. So that might be causing some of my belt problems on this side. Now you need to take this same Allen wrench that you get in the kit. Then you take the Allen wrench and pop out these 2 screws here. That's going to release that skid plate so that you can change that out. You got one more in the front, one more in the back. Plate should come off. It's all very self-explanatory. You can probably figure it out on your own. So I should have one for the right, one for the left side. I'm going to go ahead and place this new one on. So since they sent me new screws, I want to use the new screws. So I'm going to tighten them just as snug as they got theirs. I'm going to really put as much turn to it as I can, all up as tight as you can go until you get all 3 in. So another bearing fell off. Don't want to lose those guys. Again, on the other side, 3 more screws you take off, and of course they give you 6 screws total in the skid plate kit. All right. Remember to use the brand new screws, not the screws that come with it, because these have brand new locks on. When I say lock, it just has some, either like some tape or some type of chemical compound that they put on the tip of the screw that keeps it locked in snug into place so that, you know, the vibration from when you ride don't make them fall out. Even when you get it really tight, sometimes screws want to turn loose on you. A little trick to make sure you get them all threaded is to make sure you don't tighten them all up tight until you get all three in. Then when they're all in, then you can go back around and tighten them all back up. So you can see, looks a lot better. Brand new skid plates. From just about 250 miles, you can see there's a lot of wear and tear on these skid plates, and also this belt. Like I said, I live in Memphis, so there's rocks all over the road, and if a rock gets up in your belt, it's going to help it fray faster and really puts that wear and tear on it. And I'm also a big guy. A big guy can wear the belt out faster than a little guy, so especially when braking. You want to put everything back together exactly how you found it, so let's put these bearings back on, and then you want to take the belt and put it around the wheel. That's one of your first steps, is you want to get this wheel back on securely with the belt on it, and I'll show you why. This is going to be very tight, and you don't want to just muscle the belt, stretch it out over that sprocket down at the base. Loosen up these small nuts here, small nuts, so you can adjust the displacement, the distance between the sprocket and the wheel. So you loosen these nuts up here so that you can change the distance that the sprocket is. See how that's sliding? You can move the distance from the sprocket. So you want to move it in as close as you can. Make sure that your washer is placed back on there. Now we're going to pull this sprocket as far back as we possibly can and tighten it back down so that we have really good tension on the belt. Another cool trick you can do is you can use one Allen wrench as a pry bar and make sure that you're getting this sprocket as far back from the wheel, putting as much distance between the wheel. Oh, just slide it down through there and just put a little pressure on it. Make sure you're getting it nice and tight, just like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Like I said, use this as a prying tool. See how I can really get a little bit more leverage on it and tighten that bad boy down, just like that. And now that you've kind of held it in place with these two front screws, you can go back and tighten the back, just like that. Now that you have that on, you can go ahead and put this cover back over your sprocket and tighten that down with brand new screws. Make sure you're using brand new screws, not your old screws, because these are brand new lock nuts. Get them both placed in there nice and tight, not snug. You want these tight. You're going to repeat the same steps on the other side. Make sure you put your washer back on. It's important. We can go ahead and loosen up these screws. Now we have a little play so we can tighten the belt just like we did on the other side. Like I said, you want to put the wheel on first with the belt on it, just like that. Make sure your washer's already here. We're going to just slide that puppy down on there. Beautiful. And we're going to be able to push this up as far as we can. Make that belt slide on effortlessly. Beautiful. Now you can do that same deal. Like I said, if you get two kits, or you want to use a small screwdriver, you can use one as a pry bar and make sure that you get a lot of tension on that belt. That helps me because this is a lot stronger than my fingers are. And I'll go ahead and tighten this side down. We'll come over to the back side and do the exact same thing. Use this as a pry bar and just get it good and snug. Now we're going to go back with this nut on top. A lot of dirt down in there. You can buy this from Boosted 2 at their online store, but you honestly can get them for very cheap at your skateboard shop or even a place such as Walmart. So, and all we like is putting the cover back on. Find me two brand new screws. Make sure you get that underneath that wheel. So number one. Like I said, you want to get these tight, not snug, just like you found it. If they're loose, you need to tighten them. the last thing you want to do before you go get on the service skateboard is make sure that everything is spinning and turning smoothly. You can listen with your ears. Your ears are a good detector of if something's wrong. Listen for any binding sounds, anything that could be stuck in the belt, anything that you could have done wrong. Make sure you just look it over one good time before you go ride on it. I'm a big guy. I'm about 220 pounds, so this is a lot of stress on a skateboard, and I definitely want to try it with no weight first before I put 220 pounds on it. But after you get that and everything spins like it should, then you should be in great shape. But guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Out.